Hey everybody, sitting here. I live in Florida, so I'm sitting here at a facility in Orlando waiting to get unloaded, and I'm listening to this Dana Lash who, yeah, I'm gonna be nice. Sometimes she comes off like a, I don't know if she does it on purpose or not, but sometimes she just comes off like a California Valley girl, but that's besides the point. I don't know if she just talks like, like, there's a time for like, and there's a time not for like, and California Valley girls just overuse that word. But that being said, though, she's talking about this Trump threatening to is trying to take away freedom of speech and libel laws, and threatening to sue people for playing videos of things that he says and this and that. First, before I go anywhere, I have points that I am very critical with Donald Trump about, like this the way that he managed to get the courts to abuse the eminent domain law. Believe me, that I finally own a home. I own my own. Me and my wife, I own my first home. And the fact of someone just coming and taking our home away the way he did, that way, I find that utterly disgusting. And so I'm very critical of Trump with that. And there's other things that sometimes I think he is a little too brash. I'm from New York. There's a reason that I don't like New Yorkers. There's a reason that I was so happy to be leaving New York. And sometimes he shows that, but other times, he shows that he's also, a class act. I mean, the guy the guy is like Obama, the guy's a great dad. And I mean, that's something I'm not. I'm not a good father. I've been a lousy father. I ain't exactly been the greatest husband. But, other than that, I mean, but yet there's things that I'm critical of Trump about. But that said, I think there's room for discussion, not even just Trump, but I mean for anybody, because there's other people that, I've seen it done to both Democrats and Republicans, where someone will take a sound clip and they play it or print it or type it or whatever they want to do with it, but they take something completely out of context and make it look like something completely otherwise said. So, this whole thing about him trying to take away the freedom of speech with libel lawsuits and this and that, I think there is an argument for that. I mean, it's not, if you're going to take something that somebody said and you're going to use it in the context it was said against them, hey, that I believe is complete freedom of speech. There's nothing malicious or slanderous about that if you're using it in its context. But now, let's say like this here, right now, I'm going to say something. I was at a party the other night and it was the bomb, man. We blew the place up. Now someone takes and they just use, it was the bomb, man. We blew the place up, and tries to make me look like a terrorist. That's completely out of context of what I just said. I was making an example of something, but someone can now take and use what I'm making an example of and actually put that in real life if they really wanted to slander me. So that's what I mean. I think there's some room I think there should be a discussion about that. But there's a great many deals of issues that got to be covered about the government, because there's a lot of things with government that's got to be changed. I mean, I'm gonna start shooting smaller videos like this one here about that, because I want to touch on the thing about convicted felons and our constitutional rights. And I'm not a convicted felon, by the way. That ain't what I mean. But I mean our constitutional rights and rights pertaining to convicted felons, too. I mean, there's certain things where, I think there's room for the law to be fixed. And then there's other things where there's a lot of things in the laws that just got to be fixed. I mean, there's too many overreaching laws. You know, in my opinion, like the EPA. I don't think we should do away with environmental protection laws, but I think we should do away with the EPA because, you know, environmental protection laws should be being passed by our representatives so that they represent the will of the people in national, you know, to some extent. I mean, at the same time, you know, they have to use discretion. Sometimes, you know, there might be something that we don't agree with, but they have to. But, you know, the EPA, I mean, it's just a completely lawless organization right now, you know. So there's lots of laws that have to be fixed, and there's lots of things that got to be corrected in the government too. So, you know, there's lots of little videos that I'm gonna start shooting here. I'm gonna start piecing this all together over time. But, you know, I think, like I said, I just wanted to touch on that about Trump, though, because I think there is something to be said about giving people the right to defend themselves when something is said completely out of context of how they said it, or presented completely out of context of how they said it. I mean, misrepresentation really isn't that far of a step from fraud. I mean, when you really think about it. So, think about it.